We really played well at the end of the first half. It's probably some of the best we've played all year. I think Joe and Buddy were, even though they missed a couple, they had their rhythm. They were looking like they're going to make shots, and we need them to make shots to win. I thought Robert did a good job off the bench. He made the key play of the game with that block. It was an unbelievable block. But we started the second half. We got 4 good shots in a row and didn't get any of them to go down. Then we missed 2 or 3 layups around the basket. Quincy and, Marek, Buddy missed one. You can't do that. You got to keep making them. I think our defense held up better than it has. We left a couple guys open. They made a couple big shots to keep the game close. But the difference tonight, we made a bucket when we needed to. We made a basket when we really needed to, and handled the ball pretty well. We had 9 turnovers. Our rebounding was much better. They went smaller to guard Marek, which helps us on the boards, but it puts an extra 3-point shooter in the game, which we adjusted to pretty well. But it was a good win. Georgetown's been in every game. They've been in every game, and they just haven't been able to quite finish. But it was a good win, and, we got a couple more days of practice. We're very hopeful Barama might practice the next 2 days and be available, but there's nothing sure about that. But we're hoping that will happen. But, again, it was a good win.
Our first question will be from Matt Hausworth.
Jim, tell me about the thought that went into having the towel over your shoulder when you came onto the court, and just wanting to obviously pay tribute to the late Thompson.
Yeah, John Thompson meant a lot to all of us in all college basketball, all the coaches, both African American coaches and white coaches. He meant a lot. It wasn't just one group. He meant a lot to everybody. He helped everybody. He paved the way. The reason we have so many black head coaches is because of John Thompson. And not only was he a good coach, but that he set an example, and he pushed and pushed, and right until his last year or two, he was pushing all the time for African American coaches, and he was very successful at it. He was much more than a good basketball coach, and we had an unbelievable rivalry, but you can come together. I know it's hard for that in this country, and we need to be able to see that. John and I saw that after, a lot of strife, but the last few years we coached against each other. It was completely, let's play hard and win, and nothing bitter about it. Let's work together. And it was just a sign of respect for a great coach, and a guy that had, I still think, more influence on the game than any coach. When you think about the totality of the game and life.
Our next question is from Mike Waters. Mike, we can't hear you.
Jim, Robert is known as a three-point shooter, but when he plays defensive like that, is that what he needs to give you in order to get more court time?
Who?
Robert. Raswell.
Well, he needs to do everything. He made the block of the game, and he got a couple rebounds. He made a shot, but people are now going to guard him, and he has trouble getting his shot. He has trouble right now. He's, it's funny, but they're playing our shooters so tight, it opens up things like Quincy had layups opportunities. 7 or 8 of them, because they're worried so much about our shooters. You can drive and get to the basket, and he didn't finish. He didn't get there and didn't finish, and he needs to be able to do that. I think I talked to Allen after the game. He's got to get to the foul. He hasn't been to the foul line in 2 games. He's living at the 3-point line. He's 1 for 7. He's 3 for 3 from the 2. He needs to get to the foul line. He needs to get to the basket, get to the foul line, not just shoot threes. But the difference in tonight's game, Buddy and Joe hit some, and that got us the lead and kept us there. But he hit two when they got back into it, two big shots, and kept us in position to win the game. But, you know, we did a really good job defensively, and we just missed so many opportunities at the start of the second half with shots and layups and opportunities to score that you've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to score those. And we just haven't done that in these last two games. We did finally make a couple, but just too many missed opportunities on offense.
Next question is from Mario Sacco.
Coach, you talked about Joe and Buddy kind of getting into that rhythm, and you talked about how tight the teams are playing these guys. For them to get into this rhythm that you've been seeing, is it just a matter of, more practice and kind of finding that groove, so to say?
Yeah, we just got to keep practicing. And, we missed a lot of days, a lot of practice. And shooting is different in the game than it is just shooting in practice. So, we just need to keep working at it, trying to get better. We just need more days in the gym and more games. That'll help us.
Next question is from Anthony DeBunda.
Hey, Jim. I saw you were pretty unhappy with Allen's defensive positioning throughout the night, leaving a few threes open. What have you said to him about that, and what has to change with him for progress there, and could that hurt his playing time going forward when Barometer does come back?
Well, he's got to be up on the shooters. It was him a couple times, Quincy once. We've got to guard the ball in those areas, and but I think really more importantly is offensively, he's got to get something going to the basket, get his pull-up game going, or get to the basket. We're asking him to do something completely different than he did the last 2 years at Illinois. At Illinois, he just shot threes. He stood in the corner and shot threes. And, we're asking him to make plays and do things. I took him out because he was dribbling into the zone press twice and should have really lost the ball twice in there, but luckily didn't. Just things, he's got to get better. Barama coming back will help everybody because it can ease the minutes a little bit for everybody. I think it helps when you get a few minutes here and there for everybody to get a little rest. And, again, we don't know if he'll be able to go Tuesday or when he'll be able to go. We're hopeful, but he had 5 great days of practice and then he couldn't play. So we're just going to have to wait and see how he reacts to being back out there. We're hopeful.
Our next question is from Tala from SI Syracuse. I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
Oh, good. Thank you. Hey, Coach, could you just talk a little more about Robert Raswell's defense? He just played 16 minutes, had the great block, had 3 steals. If you could just talk a little more about that.
He made 2 great steals down there. That would have been layups if he wasn't in there. He's the best on our team of rotating back and rotating across and making those plays. And the block was spectacular. Robert's a great jumper. His knees still bother him, and, he's just going to play through it as best he can. But that was the play of the game. Could have saved the game, really, as we came right down and scored. So, yeah, that was a huge play, a huge play.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question is from Stephen Bailey.
Hey, Jim, I wanted to ask what update you could share on Frank and Woody as well. I know you said he hadn't practiced before the Pitt game.
Woody had 2 practices now, so he looked better in practice. So that's good. Frank, we won't know anything till Monday. We're hopeful, optimistic that he'll be able to be back, but we will have to wait until Monday or Tuesday.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Our next question will be from Ron Bailey from Hoya Report.
Hey, Coach. Talk about early on, they had some success against your 2-3 out of the high post, turned around, they hit the high low for short corner, and then they got away from it. Or was it something that you did to take them away from that?
Well, we tried to do a better job than what we were doing, and then we hurt them on offense with our pulling their big out, so I think they went with a smaller lineup to guard us better. And that helped us on the defensive end, not having that big guy out there. But, we gave them a couple easy when we were a little too spread out. But, you know, they've got good shooters, and they've got good, you know, movement, and the big guy is tough. I mean, we had some layups that he just took away from us, and, you know, made it hard for us to get in there, real hard.
And lastly, Woody, what has he meant to your program? Where do you see him being in the pantheon of Syracuse wings?
Woody's getting better all the time. He's put on 10 pounds. He knows he needs another 15 pounds and continue to work on his shot. What I told him, this is a free year. You know, you're not here. You know, you'll be a freshman next year. So get as much out of you this year as you can, and that'll help you for next year.
Thank you. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Our next question is from John Johnson.
Yeah, Coach, could you speak about the mindset of you guys closing this game out late, especially coming off of Wednesday where you lost a late lead?
Well,
The importance of being able to close out a game.
You're gonna lose games. You know, you're gonna lose leads. You're gonna lose games. Games come down to the wire. We've had 4 games come down to the wire. 5. We've won. Well, you know, I can't remember now. 4. Buffalo, Marist, yeah, Northeastern. We've had 5 games come down the wire. We've made the plays to win 4 of them. So, you know, that's a pretty good percentage.
Our next question is from Dan Tortora.
Jim, just what you can say beyond this game, knowing that the schedule's changing again, you're supposed to be at home on Tuesday instead. You have to travel on the road, moving up the time to this one, just navigating that.
Yeah, it's just what you have to do. You know, you just have to be ready. That might change by the time we get to practice tomorrow. You know, we have to play as many as we can, do as much as we can to get ready, and play the games. That's all you can do. These guys are doing an amazing job fighting through all this, keep playing, and I'm really proud of them. It's not easy, and they've been very good.
Our next question is from Andrew Crane.
Coach, you mentioned the rebounding advantage earlier, and I was just curious what your thoughts are on kind of the interior play and how it's evolved without Barama, and how guys like Marek and Quincy have had to play more minutes, like you said, guarding the high post or grabbing more rebounds.
The good thing, Pittsburgh was a more aggressive rebounding team. This team's a little bigger, but they've got a lot of guards out there. They're playing 3 guards out there almost all the time, and sometimes they went to a small lineup with 4 guards and Pickett. So that helps us on the boards. You know, that really helps us on the boards. But that's an advantage of Marek. Marek on offense pulls those centers out, and he opens up lanes, and, you know, we're able to do some things on offense, get some things that we wouldn't be able to get if we didn't have the center away from the basket. And I think that makes people have to make adjustments. But, you know, we just were better in terms of rebounding, I thought. You know, Buddy got back in there and got a couple, Joe. So, you know, we just did a better job there. But, you know, I think we're a lot better team offensively. It doesn't show yet, isn't showing yet, but I think we are. I think we're close to getting to be there. You know, we'll see. A couple more days. See how we do.
We have 3 more questions. The first will be from James Zuba.
Yeah, Jim, in all your years of Syracuse, Georgetown, have you ever seen a player chip a tooth, let alone play through it?
Well, no, he was going to the locker room, but I stopped him. I said, "You just hurt your tooth. You didn't hurt anything else. Let's go." And he was trying to go to the locker room, but he didn't make it. You know, he's too important to us. We need him in there against pressure and handling the ball and stuff. So, yeah, he toughed it out. It was just an accidental play. In the old days, it might have been on purpose, but it was this was accidental.
Our next question is from Gil Gross.
Yeah, Coach, you touched on it a moment ago. I was going to ask what the difference was on the glass, but UNC is another big physical offensive rebounding team like Pittsburgh. So,
well, they're a lot bigger, lot stronger inside. They're, you know, one of the best rebounding teams in the country every year. So, you know, we have our work cut out for us in there for sure.